Hello everyone and welcome to your first lesson. Today we are going to learn about rhythm. So the dots that you see on the music scores or on music sheets as other people call them tell us about what the pitch of the note that we need to perform or sing is and also what is the rhythm. So let us go immediately to see how the rhythm works. It looks quite daunting at the beginning, but do not be scared, it is actually rather simple. The music notation of today has been designed over the centuries to be really easy to read. Okay? So, look at the first picture we have here on the bottom of your screen, and you will see 5 horizontal lines with a note in the very middle, on the middle line. Now, those 5 lines are called the music stuff. Okay? And it's always 5 lines. There are 5 lines and 4 spaces in between to help us understand what is the name of the note just by matter of vertical positioning. It's a very easy way of identifying the name of a note. But today we are going only to look at the rhythm. So that note that you see in the middle is called the whole note, which is also known as a semibreve in technical terms. It is called whole because of the way it works mathematically. In maths, as you probably know, a whole is represented by the number 1. And the number 1 is also represented, can be represented, by a fraction, what we call, at least in Italian, an apparent fraction. The same number up and down on the numerator and on the denominator. So 2 over 2, 4 over 4, and so forth. This note is called a whole note, a semibreve, and its duration is assumed as a standard in music to be 4 over 4. That's a standard. The next note you're going to see is the minim. You can see 2 minims here, and they are called half notes as well, because proportionally to the semibreve it takes half the time to perform one of those. So in order to fill up all the time that will take to perform a semibreve, you will need 2 of those, 2 minims. You have already noticed that it is very similar to the semibreve, but it's slightly more elaborate, and that is the key to understanding rhythm very quickly. The more elaborate the shape of a note is, and the proportionally faster the note will be. So here we've got a funny leg. Because the notes are on the middle line, that's basically the point where the legs could go either up or down. If the notes are above the middle line, the legs will be down. If the notes are below the middle line, the legs will be up. Of course, when they go down, they need to be on the left side. When they go up, they need to be on the right side. And that, again, is a standard. So coming back to our minims, their mathematical value is 1 over 2, a half, that is. Or you could also say it's 2 over 4, 2 quarters, which is exactly the same thing. Now let's move on to the next note value. You will see here 2 notes which are very similar to the minims, but they're not empty inside, they're full. And they are called quarter notes or crotchets. Now, the crotchets mathematically have a value of 1/4, 1 over 4. And that means that to fill up the entire time it takes for you to perform a semibreve, you will need 4 crotchets, or 2 minims, or maybe 1 minim and 2 crotchets. It's all a mix and match as long as the numbers add up. So you see, there is a little bit of maths in music, but it's all very basic, do not worry. The next note value that we are going to see is the 8th note, which is also called a quaver, which in England is also known as a snack, but that's another thing. Okay, so you see that I have put here 4 quavers. just to highlight that they can appear in different ways. So the individual quaver is very similar to the crotchet, but it has got a very funny ending, a very funny tail, both going up and going down. But very often, quavers will be tied together by that single horizontal line. They could be tied 2 by 2 or 4 by 4. How that happens and why that happens, I will explain to you on a later lesson. So the mathematical value of a quaver is 1/8, 1/8. And the same principle applies as the previous notes. Moving on, the next note value, and that's all the note values we're going to learn for quite a while, is the 16th note, which is also called a semiquaver. And of course it takes 16 of those to fill up an entire semibreve, or 8 of those to fill up an entire minim, or 4 of those to fill up an entire crotchet, or 2 of those to fill up a quaver. The mathematical value, as you already have understood, is 1/16. Now, let's talk about the beat. Okay, all music has got a beat, pretty much, if you exclude Gregorian chant, which is this kind of thing I've got here, but which does not interest us today. Aside from this, all music has got a beat. And the beat in music is written down in what we call a time signature. Time signature appears as a fraction at the very beginning of a piece of music. So the two numbers of the fraction, the numerator and the denominator, give us very specific information about our beat. So the numerator tells us how many beats there are in each bar. So what is a bar? Well, the bar is pretty much a vertical line that stands at the very end of each unit of music, which fills us the whole beat sequence that we have chosen. The denominator instead tells us what is the value of that beat. So if we take 4/4, for instance, that means that we have 4 beats, and the duration of that beat is 1/4. So 4 times 1/4. 4 times 1/4. 1/4, as we know, is a crotchet. So as a result, we've got 4 crotchet beats in a bar. So how does it translate practically? So what you hear in terms of general beat is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, independently of the speed of the beat itself. The speed is determined by something entirely different. So for those of you who might be familiar with clubbing, for instance, nightclubs, where they play very loud music, very often that music is in 4/4. That is a very clear and simple example of a 4/4. Or maybe if some of you are familiar with different forms of dancing, you might be familiar with the waltz. The waltz has got a time signature of 3/4. That is 3 beats in a bar, each one of the value of a crotchet. So you might be familiar with ta-da-dum-dum-dum, pum-pum, pum-pum, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's 3 beats in a bar, and that is a waltz. Right, so let's see now something that could look like a piece of music written down. Okay, now I'm gonna go on full screen with that. Okay, now let's put in practice what we've been learning in theory. So you can see a piece of rhythm. It's not really music because it doesn't have a melody, but it doesn't concern us now. So let's have a look at each bar to work out the rhythm. First bar is a semi-breve, it fills up perfectly the 4/4, easy. Second bar is 2 minims, so half of the bar, the other half of the bar, easy. Third bar, minim, 2 crotchets. First half of the bar, 2 beats is the minim, the other 2 beats are made by the crotchets. The next bar is the opposite, the reverse rhythm, pretty easy. Next line, we've got 4 crotchets, that's very easy, very visually clear. In the second bar of the second line, we have something a little bit more interesting. We have a minim, a crotchet, and 2 quavers. Minim is easy, crotchet is easy. The 2 quavers, you can see they are grouped together to form a beat, so that's quite easy to see. In the next bar, third bar of the second line, we've got 4 quavers, and again they're grouped 2 by 2. So it's very easy for us to identify that those 4 quavers form 2 beats. In the last bar, we've got the 4 semiquavers. Haha! All of them tied together, 4 by 4, because 4 of them make up a crotchet. So we've got 4 semiquavers crotchet, 4 semiquavers crotchet, and that's quite easy. It's a repeated rhythm, it's a bit of a pattern, and that is quite easy to spot. Moving on to the third line, we have crotchet, minim, crotchet. It is a variation of the same rhythm you have seen in the last 2 bars of the first line. It is the same elements, just in a different disposition. This specific configuration, which is basically a long note sandwiched between 2 shorter notes, is called a syncopation. We will see more about that later on during the chorus. For the moment, you just need to know it's called a syncopation. Let's move on to the second bar of the third line. We've got crotchet, easy, 2 quavers, pretty easy, 4 semiquavers, now they are easy, 2 quavers, easy. Last bar, okay, that gets more interesting. We've got quaver plus 2 semiquavers, and they're all tied together. Why? Because, well, the 2 semiquavers make up a quaver. 2 quavers make a crotchet. So in total there, we have a crotchet. And then we have another crotchet, and then 2 semiquavers and a quaver, which is total another crotchet, 1 beat, and the final crotchet. So before reading out the whole rhythm to you, I just want to make absolutely clear how it is that we're going to go about it. So we're going to call the notes all with the same name, and we will take the arbitrary name of la. La 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 la. That's how people sing melodies when they don't know the lyrics very often, isn't it? So these notes are all called la. We just got to agree on the duration of them. So how are we going to do this? Well, let's take our crotchets. Second line. Let's establish a beat first. Let's take it slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be quite easy. Yes? So the first bar of the second line is going to be la, 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 la. Very easy. Now, when it comes to the quavers that we find in the second bar and in the next bar, they've got to be precisely fitted into the beat. They cannot be put in there randomly because they are supposed to have exactly the same duration. So, in these beats, we can't go la la or la la. That's random. Okay? It's got to be fitting 2 of them here. So it's going to be 1, 2, 1, 2, la 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 la. It's got to be very precise. And when we get to the last part of the line with the semiquavers, we've got 4 of them. It cannot be la 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 or la 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 la. It cannot be anything like that. It's got to be 4 exactly identical notes. Being Italian, I would rather like to use some food example here. if you don't mind. So how about tagliatelle? This is a bit, and all I've got to do is to say a simple word. Tagliatelle, tagliatelle, tagliatelle. Nice, isn't it? Or we could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, just to symbolize our semiquavers. Likewise, we could now substitute the rhythm with la 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 la. Easy peasy. Right, now the difficult bit is on the very last bar. Here we have quaver and 2 semiquavers. So we've got to have in mind the smallest unit, which in this instance is the semiquaver. So we still got the tagliatelle, tagliatelle. So if we divide the 4 syllables, it's tagliatelle. The first quaver is the ta-ya, and then the next 2 semiquavers is tel-le. So what we've got to pronounce is ta, but we cannot pronounce ya because that's a whole quaver. So it's ta-telle, ta-telle, ta-telle. So if we now go back to la, it's la la la. Instead of la 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 la, we drop the second one, we make the first one long for both of them. La la la. And towards the end of the bar, third beat, we've got the opposite of it. So it's la la la, tagliate. Okay, now it's time to have a proper read through. I'm gonna read it for you. And of course, you're most welcome to join in with me. And you can repeat this little section as many times as you want. Okay? So, let's go on. Let's set the beat. Ready, go. La, 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 Right, and that was it. Probably not the easiest thing you've done, so I suggest you rewind a little bit and you have another go, and then another go, and then another go until you really feel comfortable with it. Now we have another example. Let's work this one out. It's in 3/4, so it's a time signature of a waltz. We've got 3 crochet beats in a single bar. So it's 1, 2, 3. So if we wanted to have, let's have a very quick recap. Crochets, it would be la, la, la. If it were quavers, la, 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 la. If it were semiquavers, la, 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 la. Okay? So now, pause the video and try to figure this out yourself. Now, you might have noticed that all the bars were rather straightforward compared to the previous one, except the last one, where we've got all those syncopations. Rather complicated. So how do we work that out? Well, let's have another approach, which is an approach that still works. So we've got, again, 3 beats, which are quite clearly visually marked. and we've got semiquaver, quaver, semiquaver 3 times. So we've got 3 times the same thing. So we've got, again, 2 semiquavers and a quaver, but they are mixed up. So let's think in semiquavers. So doki, 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 doki. Or let's just count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Because it's a total of 4 semiquavers 3 times. So we've got 1 semiquaver, 2, 3, that's the quaver, 4, that's a semiquaver. So 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 4. Why am I not saying the 3? Because it's still the duration of the quaver. So 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2. If we wanted to change the numbers into la la, it would be la la la. 3 times. La 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 la. And that's how we work out this rhythm. Right, now for some written work. So please do print out a screenshot of what you see now, so you can fill up those 12 bars with a pen or a pencil using the rhythms that we have learned so far. All the note values, semi-briefs, quavers, semiquavers, minims, crotchets, mixing and matching them. Try to fill up all the bars. It's gonna be fun. Well, this is it for our first lesson. You have successfully learned a big chunk of what regards rhythm. There are very few more things to learn about rhythm. Well done, and thank you very much.